All right, let's jump right in. We're going to explore a philosophy today that totally flips the script on how we think about gratitude, our purpose, and, well, who we really owe for the good things in our lives. It's a pretty challenging idea, so stick with me here. Okay, first thing, I want you to really think of a specific memory, a time when someone gave you a major leg up. Could be a teacher who believed in you, a scholarship that got you through school, maybe just the unwavering support from your parents. You got one? Good. Hold on to that memory. Because here's the twist. The big idea we're digging into today is that maybe, just maybe, all that gratitude you've been feeling has been pointed in the wrong direction. That feeling of debt, it might not be to the person who helped you at all, but to something much, much bigger. So let's start by pulling apart this fundamental misconception about where help actually comes from. Think back to that teacher you just pictured. The way we usually see it is pretty simple, right? My teacher helps me, so I owe them. But this philosophy says, hold on a second. Your teacher was just a conduit, a channel. The energy, the knowledge, it flowed through them. So trying to repay them directly kind of misses the point. The real debt, according to this speaker, is to the society that created that teacher, that whole system. And you repay that debt by serving society in return. So, okay, if a helpful person is just a conduit, then it stands to reason that this same idea applies to, well, everything, all resources. Let's trace it back to the true source. I mean, ask yourself, where did the money for your education really come from? The easy answers are, my parents' savings or a scholarship from some foundation. But the speaker here would push back and say, those are just the pipes. The real source, the reservoir, is what they call the collective energy of the people. And this is really the heart of it. Any money, any resource, any advantage you receive, it isn't truly yours. It isn't even your family's. It's described here as a redirection of the blood and sweat of countless other people in society. It's a massive transfer of energy. And this idea applies across the board. That scholarship fund, that's the people's collective effort. The money in a church collection plate, the people's energy. Even the wealth your parents worked hard to build, it's seen as a product of the society they live in, the labor of others. In this view, nobody gets ahead. Nobody learns a thing without being fed by the energy of the masses. So, if we are all swimming in this collective energy, if we all carry this massive debt to society, what are we supposed to do about it? What is our actual purpose here? Well, according to this worldview, we are here to do one single job, to erase our sin. Now, let's be clear. This isn't sin in the way we usually think about it, like you did something wrong. It's more like an inherent spiritual weight, a burden we're all born with, and our entire lives are meant to be about lightening that load. It's a huge idea, right? But if we all have this weight, how in the world do you get rid of it? Well, first, let's talk about what doesn't work. The speaker is crystal clear that all the things we normally chase in life, getting crazy rich, knowing everything there is to know, having the perfect body, they do absolutely nothing to reduce this spiritual weight. Zip. Even simply believing in a higher power without any action behind it isn't enough. So, if all those goals are a dead end, what's the answer? This brings us to the actual path you're supposed to take to fulfill your purpose. And this comparison just lays it all out. A lot of belief systems say, have faith in God and you'll get to heaven. But this philosophy suggests a totally different formula. It says your actions, your service to other people, that's what erases your sin. By becoming spiritually lighter through that service, that's how you earn your way. It's a path of doing, not just believing. The speaker even says there's a way to know if you're on the wrong track right here and now. If you constantly feel stuck, trapped, or kind of suffocated by your life, that feeling is a major warning sign. It's a premonition. Yeah, a premonition of what exactly? Of this. The consequence is pretty stark. That trapped feeling in this life is supposedly just a little taste of an afterlife where you wander as a lost spirit for thousands of years, unable to move on, all because you didn't do the work, the service you were sent here to do. Okay, let's pull all these threads together. What does this all mean for us right now? It basically reframes our entire lives as one long project of paying back a fundamental debt. So it all boils down to this 4-step logic. Step 1. You have to recognize that everything you have, your knowledge, your resources, it's all on loan from society. Step 2. With that in mind, you understand your real purpose is to erase that spiritual weight, that sin. Step 3. You have to know that the only way to do that is through helpful, beneficial service to other people. And step 4, when you do that, when you serve others, you become lighter, and you finally fulfill your duty. And this final quote really doesn't pull any punches, especially for anyone who's had the privilege of an education. The message is pretty blunt. If you have knowledge and you're not using it to help humanity, you are failing at the entire point of your existence. So we're left with this really profound question to chew on. If everything you've ever gotten is a loan from humanity, and your whole purpose is to pay it back through service, it just forces you to rethink everything, doesn't it? It's not about what you can get out of life, but what you can give back. So, what are you going to do with that debt?